Alright, we are back. Okay. So, it is the Sparks' turn. Their numbers have been worn down, at least this wave's, by the crew. And so one of them moves in because it has been taunted by Meat Child and lands on the railing next to it. Actually, two of them land on the railing next to Meat Child. One of them joins the one fighting Madam V. One of them comes up to Dog after being barked at. Actually, I think Dog just draws the attention of this whole crowd of them.
This dog is so rude. We've got to do something about it.
Is that... Yeah, that is what happens. Where does this last bird go? Okay. Actually, yeah, this last bird is also going to go for Dog, but the other one is going to fly over and join three of its brethren on the mid deck, as they are all going to try and peck at Viper.
Bring it on.
Yeah. All right. So, all right. First, the two attacks on Meat Child from the two birds, 9 and 7. Those are both misses. And then 3 attacks against Madam V. 18, 24, 22. Those are all hits.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you know what? Why not?
Activate.
Yeah, one of them is a crit. So I'm going to activate it.
Have you considered, though, not doing that?
Sasha, this is the last
We
fight
literally
of the
wa-
campaign.
We literally watched him consider it just now.
I know. I just wanted to volunteer for the court. What if you didn't, though?
All right. So you take 17 vitality damage, and then you take... Oh, sorry, 17... Sorry, that's not including your damage reduction. So that should actually be 6 plus 7, 13 vitality damage, and you take 4 wound damage and a level of fatigue. Okay. 3 attacks on Dog. 16, 7, 21. What's Dog's defense?
15?
Okay, so 2 hits. Does Dog have damage reduction?
Yes.
Dog's wearing barding, right? Yeah, I remember you making it.
She's also wearing a raincoat.
Okay, well, the dogs hit for 5, or birds hit for 5 and 3. Dorothy, you were getting attacked twice for a natural 1. Does anyone want to activate that?
Yeah.
All right. Dorothy, how does this one get sprawled and foul up its second attack?
Too tiny. Just too small of a C and hit. Just like swoops down to hit and like crashes into the deck.
Same thing the big bird did, just less dramatic.
Okay, and then Viper, 3 attacks on you. But you
Gonna
won't.
be flat-footed because I'm grappling.
Nope, because you got look out from my sweet little girl.
Oh, this fucking badass rat! Hell yeah!
It goes to you, and she's like, beep, 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 beep. And you're like, oh, I know what that means.
All right.
Yeah, so I guess defense is still 21.
Well, that's 1 hit. That's 2 hits. Not 3 hits. None of those are crits. But they are close. And so Viper, you take no damage from the first hit because your damage reduction, and the second one you only take 2 points of damage to your vitality. Okay, and now it's time for your wrestling roll against the big burb. That's a 28 it gets.
Come on. I'm going to spend an action die on this, too.
It's a 20 before the action die.
It's only a 24.
Alright. You also take 4 points of electrical damage from wrestling the bird.
That's fine.
What's this bird gonna do with its success? It's gonna hit you with a natural weapon. It's gonna stab you with its beak. Or wait,
Okay.
it's not that
good.
it hits it, that it makes an attack roll, right? Is that
No, I think it's just do damage is an option for a grapple.
injure? The winner inflicts his
Injure,
unarmed
yeah.
damage. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, but that's also not an attack roll, so that means its rend doesn't kick in.
Yeah, good. Good. That's just the grapple, which is a full round action.
Yeah. Unfortunately, its beak does 2d12 plus 3 damage. Or
That's fine.
plus 2, because it's got a level of fatigue. You take 15 points of damage. No damage reduction. Or your damage reduction applies. Has no armor piercing.
So 13. All right.
Yep. Just reaches back as he got it in a wing lock, and it takes a chunk out of you.
That's fine, as long as it's still here.
It is. All right. And now it's your turn, Viper.
Cool. Let's do this again.
Love to grapple. It gets a 24 and beats your
Why am I boofing them now?
15. All right. Well, it's gonna bite you again.
Okay. Good.
You take 12 points of damage. Or I guess 10, because your damage reduction.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you're immune to bleeding.
Yes.
Okay.
24 vitality.
Team Dorothy, what are y'all doing?
Let's do the most. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Meat Sun attacks the one to the left of him.
Okay.
Meat. $23.
That's a hit.
Okay, for 5 damage.
5. Alright. Doesn't make its damage save. It does not. Meat Child cuts it down in the prime of its lives.
No. Then it's going to attack the one to the right. 26.
Roll that damage.
8 damage.
Okay. It passes that damage save with a 24.
Okay. The broad axe is also massive.
Right, so it needs to make a fortitude save equal to the damage, right?
Yep.
Sure.
Well, passes that.
Okay. And dog. Does a 13 hit the one in front of it?
No.
Okay. Does a 15?
No.
Okay. Then Foxglove is going to bite the big bird twice. Does a 10 with it flat-footed?
No.
Does a 12?
No.
Okay. And then Dorothy is going to cast Magic Missile. $26.
I will be right back. I think there's cat crimes going on.
Uh-oh.
Okay, well, she got another level of Tainted.
Nope, that's we're up to 2.
Yeah. We got some real criminals over here.
Put that cat in jail!
We call the rats cages baby jail, and it is empty right now, so we'll see.
Sorry about that.
For 11 damage.
On the big old burb.
Big old bird.
Ooh.
Did we finally get rid of all of its vitality?
Yeah.
Ugh.
You're hitting its wounds directly now.
I think I had one more spell that I could cast twice. I might be wrong. I'll let you call it. How many double castings have I done? Do you know?
How many do you get per combat?
4.
I'm pretty sure you've used those all up by this point.
Okay. Then I'm going to whip the bird closest to me. Not the big one.
Don't want to heroically sacrifice yourself?
Well, I mean, I could, because again, the only way I die is if my body's destroyed. But I don't feel like doing that right now. I feel like I could maybe be more helpful not destroying myself needlessly. 20, but maybe I'm wrong. Or 5 damage.
Okay. It fails its damage save. You crack it open.
Huzzah. Pinata.
Very messy pinata. Okay. V. What are you gonna do? You got a double bird sitch going on?
I do.
The old double bird sitch.
I'm gonna take my boarding pistol. I'm gonna see what kind of damage I can do with it.
Hell yeah.
I'm at the one on the left.
Good call. It has less damage on it.
So let me just load that right up. But up. That's a 14. This one from West is a 15.
Do you want to spend any action dice?
I think that I do, yeah. This is a 5, so it's a bigger number.
20.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's bigger than before. That's all that matters.
That's 6 damage.
6 damage. Oh, that's not as much as one would hope, but
No.
maybe it's enough. It is enough. Let's see if the other one makes its reflex save to avoid the spray. 6. It does make the save, so
Okay.
it does not get sprayed.
I'm gonna use one of my move actions to pull out my Derringer, since I've got an extra hand. And then I'm gonna shoot at the bird with the musket.
Which bird are you shooting with the musket?
The big one?
Okay.
The big one.
Yeah, that's fair.
So it's
The
at a
bird. Capital
minus
T.
3 total? So it's still 22.
That's a hit.
For 8 damage.
All right. Well, so fun thing, because it's an elemental, it does not fall unconscious when it reaches negative hit points.
That's my thing. So stop taking my thing.
Think of it as Viper's behind this thing, holding its wings, and these musket balls are just like blowing holes in it.
Yeah.
Going through your own holes.
Around her for once instead of
No, I think it's going through the old holes that she
going
punched in
through
your body.
like the old hole in the forearm.
That's more impressive than if I just missed you.
That's just stunting. That's what.
Yeah, all right. Is that it, V?
Yes, because those were both of my actions. And then yes.
Okay, it's the crew's turns. Hanar is going to take a... Oh no, she's reloading her pistol. The dog's got it. And everyone else is engaged in melee, so the crew don't want to start shooting arrows. They don't trust that they would miss Viper the same way their captain would.
They think Viper cares.
So yeah, it's the Spark's turn. Viper, get your athletics rolling ready. As the
Okay.
bird wrestles back.
Let's go. 31.
No!
Tied. I think it counts
do
as the
you-
attackers this time. Oh, what were you gonna
Oh,
say?
do you crit on a 19 on your athletics?
I don't. Is that even a thing?
It can. So there's some skill feats that do that.
No.
No.
I definitely do not have one of those if it's a feat.
You gonna spend any action dice?
No, I've got at least another round worth of. Actually, yeah, I am. I want to make sure it can't get away. I have to make sure it can't get away. So, action die incoming. That's a 3, 34.
Okay, I'm gonna spend one as well.
Ah, fuck.
Hey!
Oh,
my
that's only a
God.
2. 2 is smaller than 3.
You beat the big burb by 1 point.
I'm gonna do my unarmed damage to this bird.
Yeah, I thought you might.
That's 11 damage.
And you take 10 electrical damage.
Whatever.
Yeah, but tell me, how do you destroy this bird?
Just flexes until it pops out of existence.
Well, there'll be a body left behind. It's not a full elemental.
I think after after the couple musket balls fly through it and it's clearly severely weakened, she lets go of the wings and grabs it around the neck with all 4 arms, and like from behind it just pulls its head back until the neck snaps.
Considering the scale or the difference in scale, do you like have your feet planted on its like shoulders?
On its back, yeah.
And just pull, and then there's that crunch, crackle, pop.
Yeah.
As it's
exercising Viper's full deadlift capacity of which is like over 1,000 pounds of force. So.
Just pull that head clean off. Honestly, at this point, with the fucking musket shots, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you and Dorothy have both been putting a bunch of holes through it, so...
Suplex that thing through the deck. Yeah.
Through the deck, you'll have to repair that, V.
I'm here for the drama.
All right. Viper, Dorothy, and Foxglove need to make reflex saves.
Oh, it's gonna explode, isn't it? 15.
17 and... Oh, never mind. And 17. Did we got fortitude save bonuses from the food we ate last session?
Yeah.
We're good.
I
Yeah.
believe that's correct, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, unfortunately, none of you make the DC.
Okay. Well, Dorothy's dead. That just popped right off.
Y'all take 10 points of electrical damage as a big burst of arcane electricity flows out of this bird, leaving scorch marks all across the deck. What's up, Christine?
Well, since I have Achilles heel electricity, when I take electric damage, I also take the same amount of lethal damage, and that almost takes me out. I think I do, like, a bunch of my limbs do pop off and like scatter across the deck as this happens.
Okay. But yeah, it just like explodes in this burst of electricity that fries the 3 birds near you. And the arcane powers within it ripple outward around the ship. And if anyone was looking overboard, you'd see that the undead fish in a radius around the ship, they like sink back below the waves, and the sparked like giant birds fused to people, they slump to the ground inactive, as if they're they've just fallen completely unconscious. And this like electrical energy that has shot outward then sort of slows down as it expands, and then it sucks back into the big bird. I think it blows all the windows out on the ship. as this happens.
Hopefully not the ones below deck.
And then, like, this beam of electricity shoots into the cloud and just lights up the sky, the clouds above, with purple energies. And looking up, you can see the worm silhouetted against a vaguely humanoid form in the made of clouds and electricity. And then it appears to be stunned. Both the worm has like a bunch of its spectral bones smashed at this point, and the cloud form has like chunks taken out of it. Both of them look pretty ragged. But in this moment of being stunned, and it looks like it's being electrocuted strangely, the worm like wraps its massive main head skull, just encompasses this other figure's head and upper body, like shoulders, in its mouth, and just chomps down. And the cloud electricity figure just disperses. And then y'all are in a storm. It's just like, well, not like a big storm, but like it's just raining normally on y'all. Well, raining salt water, but it's just like a normal rain. And the birds that were floating in amongst the storm, they start scattering. They go elsewhere, but they're definitely still under their own power. What do you all do?
Sound off.
Hanar says, "Here, Captain," and blows the bosun's whistle. And following through on your order, and
So she gets to blow the whistle, but Viper doesn't.
and those who are still around, they make themselves known. And there's a lot. I think the reaction from the crew is muted because of how many were lost and the amount of exhaustion that everyone has experienced. They've been, trying to keep their balance through the storm and firing arrow after arrow at these birds. Not to mention the emotional and mental exhaustion of this whole thing. Shredder and Ink are just absolutely distraught at the loss of Domino and Chicanery. I'm
gonna go ahead and cast. What stat is best for like combating fatigue? Is it?
That would be Constitution, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast my bulky boy spell. I'm trying to find where my character sheet is so I can actually give
I think it's called
correct
Brawn.
Yeah, it's Brawn on Odd, so that he can like get us out of this storm safely.
Yeah.
Let's see how cursed I am. Can I cast it? And I think I've got an upper level of curse. So I'm not going to be casting spells for a little bit. And I'm looking pretty possessed right now.
So yeah, I think everyone's sort of like looking around, unsure of what to do. When that blast happened, the ghosts of your crew that were lingering, they dispersed, just like the undead fish did around the ship. Except for one, which is Billiam.
Oh no.
His ghost, like, I think he looks ragged. His spirit looks ragged, like torn and frayed, with some holes in him, because he was like Viper. You can tell that there is like essentially a chain between him and the whalebone, between his ghost and the whalebone that is embedded in his body.
Mm-hmm.
And I think those who are, I think Maybell is just, everyone on the midship is like staring at this figure.
Ooh. Okay, well, Viper's like crawling over to him on her knees.
Oh.
Not sure what to do.
What does she do?
Hold out a hand, see if he can touch her.
He reaches out with his hand, and there's a chill tingling in yours as his hand passes through.
Trying to think. Wasn't prepared for this, whatever this is. Was prepared for dead or not dead.
What are Dorothy and V up to in this moment? Collecting Dorothy's limbs?
Oh, that can wait. Probably above, kind of awkwardly standing around, shuffling. You know what? I'm gonna reattach my upper arm, and then I'm gonna go up to Viper and put my hand on her knee.
Dorothy, what do we do with him?
I'm guessing both gods are out of the sky.
You look up, and the worm is still there, and it's coming back down to the ship.
Hey,
It's your girl.
hey.
It like pulls up alongside of the ship. Wait, V, are you still on the like aft castle, or have you joined Dorothy and Viper on the mid deck?
I'm still on the aft castle, but I can make my way down.
Okay. So the main head, like, you don't have to be arcanely attuned to tell that the death god has seen better days. Like, its main skull is like missing some teeth. It's cracked. there's broken bones all over it. But there's also, you notice, a flow of electricity running through its form. And it says, "It is done."
Good.
Viper's scooped up Billiam's body. And she says, "It's not done. You've only half done your job here."
It like turns its head towards you and says, "You're right. I must return to my realm as well."
Can you leave the crew here?
Those who have died during the battle, I have taken with me, except for this one. And I've taken them and will not return them, because were I to return them, they would become sparked. They were felled by sparked, and they would become that which killed them.
Worth asking.
"So what about him?" she says, indicating both the body and the spirit, I guess.
He has given himself to me. And this is a rare opportunity for something new. Will he accept that?
Am I speaking for him now?
Yeah. Would Billiam accept this?
I don't know what this is, but given that he's a student of Viper, and Viper also doesn't really think too hard about opportunities she's given. Yes, opportunities that she's given to keep on keeping on and protecting people. He would probably be of a similar bent to agree.
All right, so Billiam looks from you, Viper, to the worm and gives a single solemn nod. And the worm says, "Very well." And like electricity starts to crackle from the eyes of the main skull, and it opens its mouth, and a bolt of lightning, or beam of lightning, shoots out from the old worm, wraps it around Billiam's spirit, and he begins silently screaming and is spectrally dragged into his form, which thrashes around as it's electrified. And then the beam stops, and Billiam suddenly sits up screaming.
In there, friend.
And
Viper's got him in her arms, clutched, head against her chest. "I've got you. I've got you, boy. I've got you."
Viper, take 8 points of electrical damage.
That's fine, whatever.
Because Billiam is now 1/3 mortal, 1/3 undead, and 1/3 sparked.
William is an OC, yo!
Yeah. Just had to one-up me.
Well, here's the thing. The old worm is no longer a minor god of death. It is now the most powerful god of death, air, water, and travel. It has consumed the Stormlord and taken all of its domains. So you have done your part in birthing an entity that is
Really
yeah
fucked up some cosmology here.
yeah.
Some big titles for a little worm.
Yeah. Things are gonna change in the divine realm. Tell you what. And so the worm looks at the three of you and says, "It will be easier this time, but I will still require your assistance to return to my realm and out of this dismal place.
What do you need?
The same ritual as before, but reversed."
Okay. I'm pretty close to the swarm kind of taken over for a bit, but I guess the risk of that is less than the risk of keeping you in this plane.
Do we need to go back to the creche for that?
No. With my new power, I am in more places than I was before.
So here is fine. Is
Well-
what you're saying?
While this storm lingers and all these bodies surround, this is a place of power for me.
I see.
Does the same ritual but in reverse mean what I think it means? Or what Viper thinks it means?
What does Viper think it means?
Viper thinks it means pulling that bone out of her chest.
The worm says, "Yes, but I will not waste a useful servant such as yourself. This will not be your end."
I knew you wouldn't let me be that lucky.
Make up your mind. Do you want to live forever or defend people? Do you want to die right now?
100% committed to do whatever is the coolest thing in the moment. So,
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Whoever really is the Wolverine of this fucking group. Goddamn.
Does anyone have a blade? I'm not gonna be able to draw anything on the deck with the storms. I'm gonna have to make some permanent changes here.
I think we could find you a knife.
Thank you.
Yeah. So,
Is this the same scene as the combat?
no.
Oh, yay, I'm not gonna be cursed forever. Although, it would be kind of cool if the chaos took over.
How many
Right
levels
now.
of taint were you at?
3.
3.
And is it 4 to max out?
Yeah. Then I become an NPC for a scene. But I'm sure putting chaos in my body will be fine.
All right. Well, give me a taint roll and the spellcasting roll.
Spellcasting is 23. I will spend an action die to improve that.
Because that was a natural 1.
That was a natural 1. Oh, wait, no, wait. I will not spend an action die because I have the ability to reroll 1 spellcasting roll per scene.
Oh, wow. Holy
And
shit!
I critted. What? Oh, wait, sorry. I had my hand wrong. Let me just quickly fix that.
From a 1 to a 20. Incredible.
42. I get that worm back in the ground. Oh no. Sorry, I just realized now it's like mixed with the storm and the ocean and everything. It's gonna be one of those really scary sandworms that like can live in your like aquariums and like kill all your fish.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's worse. No, we made death worse. Oh no. Put it back. Put it back. I'm not I'm fine.
We made it a hagfish. God of the whale fall, baby.
God, it is a god of whaled falls.
Mhm.
So yeah, what does it look like as you complete this ritual in reverse?
Sorry, I looked up what a whale fall is and I don't like it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I scratched the ruins back into the ship. We'll call it a decor addition when we try to upsell this.
Are you kidding? This is a historical
Just a
artifact
little,
now.
yeah.
That like
Just a little
value of
mobile
this
place of
ship is
power with the true name of the most powerful god in existence written on it. That'd be
through
it.
the roof.
And it's going to. I really want to like respect the solemn nature of this, but I also have the image of Dorothy just like fully like latched on to like Viper's chest, trying to like yank out the whalebone, just bracing full bodied on her. But mystically,
Well, I was gonna say, do you want to stand in front of me and Viper will help you pull it out?
yes,
Like, put her hand over your hand.
yes.
It's been there for like 200 years, so it might be slightly grown in.
Okay, so between the two of you, you manage to yank the bone out of Viper's chest at the correct moment in the ritual. And when that happens, a bolt of lightning from the storm strikes Viper.
No offense, but I'm glad it was Viper.
Viper, you can feel the tingle of like static electricity. Actually, I don't think it's even a tingle. I think it is like the pain of like a brief static shock, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can feel it just filling the hole that was vacated by the whalebone. And it doesn't go away. And you look down, and there is just like a hole filled with small arcs of electricity in your torso. And when you look back up,
I don't know why I was thinking I might have gotten my heart back.
No.
not the god of life, are you kidding?
Yeah.
When you look back up, the worm is gone. So, yeah. What do you do now?
So who wants to consume some alcohol?
Look over the 17 corpses around us.
Yeah.
And a whole lot of bird corpses on the deck, too. Bird/human corpses, plus one very, very big bird.
Do you want me to ask Hanar what funeral options there are at sea? Or do we want to preserve these bodies until we hit land?
Viper kind of pulls herself together and says, let's just get them arranged for now and covered.
Do you want to say goodbye to Lance?
That's what the funeral's for.
No, I mean, do you want to talk to him?
No, not like that.
Okay.
I have to check a quick note. Yeah. Shredder. She comes over to you, this giant, and she says, What do you mean? There's a way to talk to the dead?"
Yeah. If there's anyone you want to speak to, you can.
As soon as you say that,
I get like pushed.
she picks you up.
Yeah, that's
And,
fair.
Yeah, and she takes you like to the forecastle where there's the body of her sister and spouse.
The two bodies.
Yes, 2 bodies. not that, and they're not the anyways.
Yeah.
And she has you. She like plops you down in front of them and says, "Please let me talk to them."
Okay. Madame V, could you let the remaining crew know that people can say their goodbyes if they need to?
Yeah. I think Madame V turns to the remaining crew, and I think is a part of this, like pulling, like sorting the bodies, right, pulling them and putting them in rows and at rest, quote unquote, and saying, if you have last words to say to the people who gave their lives today, Dorothy is here to help.
Unless they want to talk to Pence or Danko, whose bodies you don't have. But yeah, so we won't get into the specifics of these conversations, but there are definitely people who make use. What is the specifics of that spell, Dorothy?
Okay, so you have 7 minutes, and you can ask them. They'll answer 3 questions if you have them, but you can just use this time to say goodbye if they need it.
Okay.
And I'd make it very clear it's only 7 minutes. It's one time per corpse.
Okay.
And that they can only answer you back 3 times.
All right.
And I use my masterwork mage kit, so no chance of critically failing.
I think that it's different. I think for some people, it is, like a boon to get these moments, and
Yeah.
for others, it doesn't. I don't think it helps Shredder, because she's the one who I think she lost 2 of the most important people in her life. She's still got 1 living sibling.
Mm-hmm.
Or one that are they all sisters? But they're all sisters. But it's not enough closure, right? Like I think Mabel talking to Lance, which she purposefully does away from you, Viper, because you said you didn't want to be part of that. She gets closure, but Shredder and Ink do not, because it's not a conversation, right?
No.
Yeah. But they.
I don't know. I think some people would like to have a coherent last say, I think.
Yeah, like I said, it works for some people, but not everyone. And you certainly get thanked by everyone. No one, holds the conversation against you in any sense.
I don't take up any of the questions, but I do tell the ones that that I see. I'm very proud of them, and I'm very sorry.
Okay.
Especially the one that I shot. Especially that one. I'm like, "Ew, that was my bad."
Yeah, that was Domino.
Yeah, so sorry.
I mean, no, Domino's not going to reveal that unless someone asks. But I don't think, like, Chicanery was the other one who knew. But yeah, Shredder and Ink aren't going to waste their questions saying who killed you or how'd you die. They, you know, they have a pretty good idea, even if they're wrong.
Make it up as best I can. Make sure they're
Just
looked
be a
after.
little skeleton in V's closet that nobody knows about but her.
Yep.
When arranging the bodies, Viper does take Lance's puka shell necklace and ties it around one of her wrists.
Yeah. Anyone talk to Violet?
Fuck. Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.
Listen, I gotta talk to her grandfather. Probably if I ever get back to.
What's the best way to break the news?
I think that might be like the one conversation we actually want to zoom in on for this.
Great.
Or like we can elide it if you want.
No, it's fine. I just have no idea how to like tactically or like approach this.
All right, you got 7 minutes. Go.
Great.
No, I'm not actually going to time you. Just. If you want to just describe what you want to say and what the 3 questions are, that's fine.
Well, it's hard to know where to start.
What should we tell your people?
Like,
Questionable.
how do you say a proud and reverent "I told you so"? How do you hit?
Your spirit was too bright for this world.
How do you hit that? I guess oh. You
How
know
does
what
it feel?
Look,
How does it feel to be the first Broadwing that died in heroic combat?
Yeah, it like you really when it came down to it, you really did have the guts for adventuring, didn't you?
yes. I don't think the dead are especially.
Not a lot of nuance on these.
Yeah.
Damn, but did enjoy speaking with you when I did. What do you want me to tell your grandfather?
I have to quickly look up a place name.
We got everybody's last will and testimonies, right? Before we testaments rather before we got
Yeah.
yeah. So we know where everyone wants to be buried, and yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah. I think most people want to be cremated because they're expecting to be sparked, right? And that's the.
Yeah. Say that.
But yeah, she says, tell him that I have acquired for our family 20% of the land and buildings in Fort Starfall, along with the fort itself.
God, a business dragon to the end. I can't fault you that. Is there Anything else you want to say to anybody back home?
Captain, thank you for this opportunity. And she's gone.
A business dragon to the end, truly.
Wow.
All
Capitalism really got you even after you're on.
Just right in the heart there. Fellow acquaintance, absolutely. List me as a fucking reference in the afterlife, I guess, if you want to get into some other shenanigans.
Yeah.
Yeah. We sort out the dead, and then food. Big fucking party, because we just killed a fucking god. And the people who died deserve to be celebrated, and the fights that we got into deserve to be bragged on and exaggerated well past our limits, because we fucking deserve it.
It's true, though.
Yep.
Who's the sucker who's the designated driver?
It's a boat. It's fine.
Yeah.
Just weigh anchor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do? Hit an island? Says man who hit island.
Yeah. All right. Oh, was someone highlighting the dead?
I was, yeah.
Thank you.
I didn't keep track of them all. I was not keeping good notes.
You missed Domino.
No, I didn't.
Oh!
Jesus.
It's too early. Sorry.
Just don't do it in front of his widow.
I'm sorry. I'm not a good person.
Fuck.
Uh,
10. So 11 of the crew died in this fight. Yeah, so
That is more than 1/3.
I'm surprised it's that low, honestly.
yeah, so I think that everyone, tries to celebrate. I think it's understandably somber, especially when, people start shouting for music and realize that the harp player and the fiddle player are both dead
Yeah,
now.
their instruments are sitting on top of their shrouded bodies on the deck.
Yeah, but
Oh.
we have a singer with 2 mouths that literally sold part of her life to sing good.
I did. So it's a lot of shanties. It's a lot of counter melodies and things like that. A lot of harmonies.
Yeah, the contrabass is still alive.
Yeah.
Contrabass, rather.
No, there's a fish.
warfish.
Contrabass was one of those skeletal fish. And
Yeah. So where do y'all head after this?
That map again?
Yeah, let's, I guess, go back to the world map.
Well,
Gotta zoom back in because the world map was smaller than the boat.
Yeah. No more storm. Storm is deleted. It
Storm
dissipates over the next couple hours, just like a normal storm would. Only strange thing about it is that the rain is salty.
no, those are just my tears. I want to go back to Belmar to see what happened.
Okay. So you set sail and you arrive in Bomare, and on the trip there, Odd approaches you. Actually, I think Odd like gets some sleep, gets some rest, and I think Nyx has taken over the helm, and they approach you, V, and they say, "Captain, there's something strange about the ship.
A strange how?
It's handling like no ship I've ever like differently than it did." And he like, or not he, they say they like lean, or they gesture for you to come down close,
Sure.
and they whisper towards you. They say, "I know you're not that much of a sailor, Captain."
How dare he?
Look, didn't say it out loud. Just, you know.
It's okay if you whisper it.
But, and I honestly don't think that most of the crew have noticed this either, since, you know, most of them aren't sailors either. But, well, for one thing, we're sailing directly against the wind, and I'm not even tacking.
Eyebrows go up a little bit at that. What do you think it is?
Magic?
Maybe.
We did put a god of air, water, and travel like back into the realm of the divine through a ritual carved into the deck.
We did do that. We did do that, didn't we?
You might just be onto something.
And I think we're in pretty good standing with that particular god at this point.
Considering what we went through, I would hope so.
Considering. Thank you for bringing this to my attention.
Of course, Captain. Is there anything else?
No, you've given me much to think about. Thanks very much.
They return to the helm. So yeah, you arrive at Belmare, and you get there just shortly after sundown. You can see that there's a few lanterns lit in town. And as you head towards the docks, you see the Northerner greets you at the end of the dock, and they wave.
Ahoy!
Hello there, Captain V, Madam V.
You look in fine health. Big grin.
Yes, we are doing well. We have contacted some of the locals, and they are still in their early phases. Do not come ashore. It will not be safe for yourself and your crew.
Thank you for the warning. How is it going well?
Yes, none have progressed yet, but they appear to be no different than the ones in Fort Starfall. This should make progress.
That's fantastic news. I'm delighted to hear it. Do you need anything?
No, we do not eat, we do not drink, and with your return, I imagine your mission went well?
Yes, yes. Not. It was at a cost, but it was. Oh God, it was worth it.
I hope the cost was not too great.
You won't believe how fast my boat is now.
It's worth every life lost.
This puppy sails itself now. I don't need to have any kind of proficiency, and I never will.
They say, with the storm gone, we do not have anything to fear from the sky any longer. So long as we stay aboard land, we shall be fine, and perhaps in time we will learn to create ships such as the one you sail, and not have to rely upon those we have found, like the one we visited the Grebel with.
Yes. Well, I will come back soon, and I look forward to meeting more of you.
And I hope for the same.
Cool.
Be well, Captain V, Madam V.
Be well, Northerner.
And they wave once more and head back towards shore.
Yeah. I would like to check on Billiam.
Okay. Viper, are you hanging out with Billiam?
Yeah.
How's that kid doing?
Yeah, I think it's probably safe to say she has not taken her eyes off of him.
I brought tea. Hi. How are we doing?
I feel real rough, Captain. Like, death warmed over.
Well, that would make sense because you are death warmed over, I think, at this point.
Yeah, that was a joke, Captain.
It was a good one.
Good. I mean, I do feel a bit different. Like different a second time than just the ritual. I mean, look at this. And he takes out a like pack, or he takes out a cigarette from behind his ear, which is like clearly been lit before and like stubbed out, and he like holds up his thumb and forefinger, and there's like a spark of electricity between them, and he lights the cigarette.
An arc lighter.
And then he like stubs it out on like the wall. And he says, I don't even smoke. I just borrowed this off of Hanar for this trick.
They're gonna think you're so cool now.
Maybe I should take up smoking just for the trick.
Would that hurt you at this point? I think you would be okay.
I don't know. I'm new.
Bro.
Aw, dang. You think... I haven't touched any salt or gone in the ocean since. I wonder if that's going to be an issue.
That's worth testing, yeah.
Mm,
Well, I tell you what, we'll bring some
Good to
salt
know.
water to you. We'll start with that. In, like
yeah.
a little cup, we'll do the scientific like.
Yeah, sure. scientific.
If there's anything that's done right on this boat, it's science. Don't look at the exploded chemistry room. Don't worry about that.
You stay out of my room.
But we'll get you sorted. Just if you need anything, don't hesitate to ask. Really.
I think if I need anything, Viper's gonna have that covered before I can even get out of bed.
I'm depending on it.
Viper's
Viper's like scratching the back of her neck and looking guilty. She's like, I don't know. I've never been anybody's mom.
Oh, what? Okay. All right, you keep telling yourself that.
Will Lance have family in Enclave?
Yeah, he probably did.
Okay.
Yeah. Dorothy, what you been up to?
She's down in like the stable area, kind of thinking about some things.
Yeah, what kind of things?
Her position in the cosmos, and her loyalty is now 100% tied to her mother's god, and what does that mean? And she's been having a lot of in-depth conversations with Foxglove, and ending to Dog's health, and she's, yeah.
Okay.
I think she's had some good talks with Foxglove, and Foxglove and Ento is also there, just sort of like looking for like fleas and stuff. And she's like been broaching questions towards it, and she's reminded that the swarm is not just the god of chaos, which she sort of like acknowledges it as, but it's also wilderness and animals, and she has such a close tie to an animal. Maybe she should look more towards, maybe this isn't 100% a bad god. So she's sort of thinking of names for Primrose, well, for the dog, which she's eventually landing on Primrose. And like maybe like treating the animals around her better. She's talking about, once they get back to Enclave, about improving rat relations with people. It's
the
all,
rats' rights movement.
yeah. She's in the talks with Foxglove right now.
Dorothy as the Pied Piper, but not doing bad things with the rats.
So not the Pied Piper.
Yeah. Mostly just, I guess, more
Mostly
like,
just stealing your children.
Yes, let's be clear. Definitely that part.
I was mostly just imagining Dorothy at like the head of like constantly always surrounded by a massive swarm of like hundreds of rats, like that what was that video game, Plague Tale Innocence or something?
We'll figure it out, but for now she's just sort of hiding from everyone and talking to her rat, so she's doing well.
Yeah.
Does anyone come seek her out?
Well, one note about Ento is, I think like you like when Ento came to the stables, it didn't like say anything to you or like give any sort of message from the swarm, but it did like pointedly look at you, like just like looked at you. Like usually it's head down looking at bugs or looking for bugs, right?
Oh,
But
absolutely,
like
yeah.
it came in and like met your eyes and like held your gaze for a couple seconds before it like returned to its usual habits.
Ento, what was that about?
Nothing. Looking for bugs.
No, Ento, look at me. Focus. What? Why are you paying attention to me?
Boss said you needed to know that you were being watched.
Oh, no, I know that, sweetheart.
Okay, just doing my job.
Yep, I know. Go have fun. How can you not? He says, hands full of centipedes.
Does Billiam sleep now?
No, I think over the next little while you realize that, like, he doesn't sleep, he doesn't eat. Actually, no, that's not true. He sleeps a lot less, he eats a lot less, and he drinks a lot less.
Okay.
Okay, good, because he was so close to gripping off of me.
Yeah.
It's not allowed.
He probably just takes, like, a
He-
2-hour nap once a
Yeah.
day and, like, has one meal, and with that meal has, like, a glass of water, and, like, that's all of his nourishment
Yeah.
for a day.
I think while the first time he gets settled in and to sleep, Viper will go look for Dorothy in the stable or wherever she's at with her menagerie.
And the chickens, if there are any
That's right.
left.
Yeah. And she'll like flop down on the ground next to you, let out a big sigh.
Yeah.
Well,
Let a cat on this boat.
well, I guess we're both sort of in the same business of being you know, revenants for deities now. So we still partners or what?
Well, looks like he can't get rid of you.
Not yet. You're not that lucky.
Yeah.
As she sort of motions around her chest area to indicate lungs and internal organs. Has your situation changed anymore?
Has it?
I think, like, no, you're still very much a doll inhabited by a soul.
Mm-hmm.
I think every so often, like, fairly infrequently, like, a bug will crawl out of you.
I mean, that I'm used to that, so it's just
That's not that much different from.
I actually have a drawing that I did a couple months ago of a spider crawling out of Dorothy's eye, so it's just more frequent this time.
I was like, it was not a bug that you put there.
Oh man, Ento is just gonna be on my ass 24/7. Well, I don't know. I feel more grounded. Full of bugs.
Full of bugs.
Full of
Well,
bugs.
that's
Well, I
something.
mean- I don't feel them pinching or stinging, so
Just keep the termites away from Viper.
she, yeah, it's fine. Whatever. They'll just take the scar tissue. So she holds out a hand for you to put yours in, and she like rubs her thumb on the back of your hand and says, "So you still can't feel anything?"
I think I just like climb into your hand and sit in it. No. But, I guess that's life, huh?
It goes on. We've got time.
Yeah.
We'll work on it. And Viper will let you climb on up and hold you, and she will probably start going to sleep.
There's no one I'd rather stare down eternity with. I'm glad you're here.
Just as you start to nod off,
Madame like slams open the door.
Dorothy, you have to hear what Nix just told me about this ship. It's
What?
magic now.
Spill the tea.
It sails itself. You have to come and see. You have to come explain how this works.
Yeah, absolutely. Come on, let's go.
Viper's like definitely got the side eye.
Can't fall asleep clutching your doll. Captain's interrupted.
Fox Club will curl up with you.
Listen, the instinct to upstage my coworkers is it runs deep. Let me tell you that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so V has overstated how magical the ship is. It does not sail itself.
I break the news as gently as I can.
It's sentient, and it's
Terrible
my best
news.
friend.
Terrible news.
It is like unnaturally agile and will, like basically just sails in whatever direction you point it in. The sails will always appear full, but like, and you can, you know, stop it by pulling up the sails or dropping the anchor, but like it's not any faster and it doesn't sail itself.
Could it be faster though?
I mean, in the sense that you don't have to worry about which way the wind is blowing, yes. But like
Yeah, but between like magic and like competent sailing, like could one be improved?
I mean, like,
it sounds like it alleviates the need for competent sailing.
like on a tactical scale, yes, it is faster. Like if you got into a ship battle with another ship, you could literally sail circles around them because you can turn tighter and you don't have to worry about the direction of the wind. So like no one has to like be constantly fussing about with the way that with the sails, right? So you actually probably need a much smaller crew, come to think of it.
Well, isn't that convenient?
Yeah.
Lucky us.
But like on a sort of strategic level, no, it's still going to take you the same amount of time to, you know, travel between places because it's not any faster.
Sure. So the ship's wind and the actual wind don't stack.
No.
Okay. Fair enough. Still very exciting.
Yeah. So yeah, where do you go after leave Belmare?
I guess we should. I mean, we'll hit Ashwood for those bodies, and then I guess head back to Enclave for the rest of them.
You don't have any Ashwood bodies with you.
Yeah, that one got back up.
Oh, right, Billiam. Yeah, is
Yeah.
Billiam gonna stay with us?
I think for now, Billiam's going to stay with
I
us.
think that he cannot escape Viper.
Yeah.
Viper's just like got him in a baby Bjorn.
Oh.
I mean,
And he has Dorothy in a baby Bjorn.
She has a foxglove.
All right, now we got to get one for Gentleman Moose.
Yes. I mean, that's a saddle, pretty much.
I mean, I would like to avoid Enclave for as long as possible, but
I mean,
that's me.
unless Dorothy's got spells for it, the bodies are going to start getting ripe.
I have fireball.
This is a fireball.
I mean, they said they wanted to be cremated. We probably do a Viking funeral for them.
Yeah.
I say
We could also just stop at a beach in by Ashwood and do it there. I don't want to go back to Enclave, y'all.
I say anyone that cares about them deserves to know what happened
I know.
and to
but
see them off.
we could write. Oh, yeah, all right.
Madame V, if you want to stay on the ship, well, some of us, like Doc, we won't think any less of you.
You will, but I appreciate the offer.
Eh,
Okay, I won't think any less of you.
So are you going to Enclave next, then?
Yeah.
Okay. So you arrive back in Enclave, and there's a couple more ships in the dock than there were previously, you know, and ships are being built. You arrive and you're not greeted by like a crowd of adoring, like you don't arrive as heroes, right?
well, it's not like we sent an announcement.
Oh, we could though. Hang on. 1 second, because I had the whole fucking thing documented really extensively, and we've had time. I've been writing, so we could do like a pass. You know what I mean? Of like, oh, like, did you hear the news? Did you hear the news? The storm god is dead. You know who did it? Is the good ship Quodlibet.
So wait, you pull into harbor just to drop this off sail out again, give yourself a day to let the message spread, and then come back?
We
carry
send a boat ahead of us with everybody with all the stuff, right? They do all the promotions, all the marketing.
You've got one
And
boat.
Well,
With the
no, we
rowboat.
send them on a rowboat. We leave the Quodlibet just out of sight behind a big rock.
Listen, let the captain have this.
And then we come into town, and then we don't then we at least have a crowd. I mean, it's only going to be like a day or whatever, so it's not going to be the biggest fucking thing. But
There are rules for
thank
this.
God, because it's fucking fantasy craft.
Let me see. It is not reputation. It is
The town crier service.
Yes. We're gonna get a fucking heary on these bitches. And delivery announcement spreads news to the population in 1 day. 3 silver. We got that.
That's easy.
Yeah. Can we say that we have carrier pigeons on board?
I'm gonna say no because like no one thought of like even asking to buy some before now.
Because they don't exist in the rules.
Yeah, but if you had like asked, we could have figured something out.
If this were Beavis, Ray would just be spending gold.
Okay. No, we're going to send some people ahead of us to fucking heary our asses.
And you also specifically had crew aboard the ship who was like were basically out of the fight to document it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've even got like pictures of the events.
We had
Goddamn
a
heroes.
painter on staff.
Yeah.
Oh
They're
my god, I'm
gorgeous.
just picturing Madame V like posing afterwards For just to make sure, like, to get the realism of the painting.
Yeah, for pickups. Yeah.
It's so great. Have I mentioned how much I love Madame B? Because I don't think I mentioned it enough, but it is incredible. Like, it's so strong. I love her so much.
You really don't. I appreciate it. I do.
I'm sorry. I need. She's amazing.
Okay. So the ship pulls into dock, and there is indeed a crowd of people waiting,
That's more like
with
it.
Ingrel at the center of them.
I was gonna say, where's Ingrel? Because
Yeah, and you can see Bixby the painter next to her, painting the scene of the ship pulling into dock triumphant. And there's definitely some people who like there's a good chunk of the crowd cheers, but I think most of the crowd are like just looking in curiosity, like
who the fuck are these clowns?
yeah. And there's definitely like 1/3 of the crowd cheers because they know who you are. These are probably like the opera fans, right? And like the people from the Punch Bowl, and like probably some of the Coast Guard that like you worked with, like I think
You know, all your favorites. That character and that guy.
yeah, eagle-eyed viewers can spot like all the familiar faces in the crowd.
What was her name? Sergeant Mantha?
Yeah, yeah, and Commander Hastings, and what do you call it? Was it Professor Emos was the one who has the crush on V? Is here, or no? Emos was the other one. AOM.
Yeah, no, I think
Yeah, Emos was the one who ended up getting executed.
right.
AOM. That's the professor of theater, who is in the crowd.
It's the theater weeb professor.
Yeah.
I have one enormous feather from the bird that we killed in my
Oh, excellent.
hat, and I have the head of the
me.
bird in my arms above my fucking head. The storm god is dead.
Yeah. So yeah, there's like 1/3 of the crowd like goes wild because they're already fans. 1/3 of the crowd are like people who are just like passing by. Like there's probably like fishmongers here.
You probably have a bunch of the fortune tellers that we have that shared vision with.
Yeah, they definitely cheer because they like
They
they
keep
know.
track.
Yeah, no. When like you brought a god in, everyone they probably freaked the fuck out. And then when you killed the storm, they freaked out again. So you got like the all the clergy of Enclave here basically, and all of the like petty mediums and tea readers as well, and they're cheering. And there's probably people here who like heard the story and are like skeptical, and some of
I don't
them,
know. That bird is pretty big.
yeah, and other of them are like, but wasn't the storm like, a storm and not a big bird?
Yeah, but you can't trophy a storm.
But
You put a
Like,
bunch of
well,
water in a
Did
jar.
have you ever gone into the center of a storm? How do you know they're not all big birds?
Touche.
yeah, but there's definitely like a lot of you get a hero's welcome, a small hero's welcome, but a hero's welcome nonetheless. And like you get off the docks, and like people are patting you on your back and like shaking hands with you and the rest of the crew. And I think if you've done that with the head of the big one, I think the smaller ones are probably their bodies are like getting offloaded as these like horrible curiosities. That's the word I'm looking for. And yeah, people are like impressed with y'all.
I want to say we did have time with sailing, and I do have some craftsmen left on the boat, I think.
Yeah.
So I would love to get the rest of those that big bird's wings, flanking either side of the prow, just along the side of the boat, just sort of flipping up
Yeah.
above the railing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can do whatever you want with this bird's carcass.
Style.
And I mean, it's not even gonna degrade, right? Because it was sparked. I mean, well, it'll get salt eaten, and it's already had some chunks taken out of it from the combat. But you can taxidermy that shit, fix it up.
Then it'll just be bones, and that's also pretty cool. Before we get to the dock, though, I'm gonna sort of shuffle around the entrance to Hanar's room until I finally knock on the door, or she opens it and I'm right there.
Yeah, she's probably leaving her cabin or like the sleeping area, and she opens the door and like almost trips over you, and says,
Yeah, that's fair.
"Oh, Dorothy."
Hi. I owe you a drink. Would you, after you get your affairs in order, want to drink with me?
She grins broadly and she says, "That would be wonderful."
Okay, I have to go. Like, scurry off.
I think as you like turn to leave, she like grabs your shoulder.
My arm pops off, but I stay. It's been pretty loose since the electric shock. I'm working on some joints in my lab, but metal takes time to work.
She hands you back the arm, and she says, "Sorry about that. Just before we go for the drink, I would like some clarification on the nature of this drink."
Alcoholic?
No, I mean, is this drink as crew people, as friends? Is this I think she like blushes and like rubs her head. Is this a date? You know what? Never mind. Forget I asked. We'll just.
Hadar, you were so close. Hadar, please, you're the only competent person on this boat. Please.
Is this actually Madame B's commentary?
Just her two
around
heads
the corner
poking
behind
around the corner. Single person Scooby Doo.
Still two heads stacked, but yeah.
Yeah. You know what? It'll just be a drink. You know, just.
Well, okay, so I've never done that in this body, but if you want to get freaky, sure.
She just like her mouth is just agape.
You want to make it weird? You know what? Let's do sure.
She says she like eventually closes her mouth and she says, "I don't know what kind of a woman you think I am. You just
Fun.
a normal date can be fun. I don't sleep with everyone that I go on a date with.
Okay.
Not that there's anything wrong with that if that's what you do."
Okay, we're gonna have a drink. I'm gonna tell you my story like you asked. You're gonna tell me some things about you, and then
We'll take it from there. I have things to attend to.
Me too. Goodbye.
And she closes the door. Okay. So yeah, everyone comes ashore, and there's a deep, like, beating of wings, and Broadwing lands in front of you, V.
Well,
Get right to it. Yeah.
And he says, let's see if I can find his voice. It's been a minute. Madam V, how are you? I heard that you were arriving. Where is my granddaughter?
Broadwing. I take off my hat. And I
She's dead then.
Quite dead, yes.
Well, that's unfortunate. Did she have any last words for me?
She said she had some papers for you.
Lovely. What, sort? Letters? Her diary, perhaps?
Something like that, yes. It was a pamphlet of some kind. I kept it very safe. And I will have it delivered to you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Of course. Your granddaughter died a hero.
Yeah, yes, sure.
cold-blooded.
I'll be taking her body for the family crypt then?
Of course.
Yes. I'll have someone by to pick it up.
Certainly.
Well, enjoy your celebration then, Captain.
Thank you, and my sympathies again.
I look forward to our future business opportunities with you and your ship.
Yes, we will have to talk about that extensively. I look forward to those discussions.
Yes, good day.
Good day.
And he takes to wing again and flies off to his mansion.
That was
Hello.
so much.
That
more
guy's a
painless
piece
than I
of
thought
shit,
it was
you
gonna be. To the end, he is. Well. Now, Viper. What papers should we be giving him? Just the diary, right?
Oh, that's the only one that's
yeah.
left.
Left?
We needed some kindling for the Viking funeral, so she had all this paper lying around.
Huh.
I'm not going to be complicit in exploiting innocence again. I've turned over a new leaf.
I believe I had those documents in my backpack. They were in my map case. I'd be happy to provide you all of the documents he needs from her.
Listen, I don't need to know what happened between you getting those documents and you giving those documents to me. There's no version control we have to worry about. You settle that to where your heart is happy, and I'll pass it along, and that'll be the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, good. Excellent. Let's get back to partying then.
So, yeah, what do you turn over to him? Like, is it a forged contract? Is it just the diary?
Diary with some pages missing.
I didn't write down in great detail what the documents were, but if there is just a separate part that's just the diary, he can have that.
Do you make any alterations to said diary, or just handing it over?
Well, I mean, I've read them all before. Like there was an investigation role for me to read all these documents previously. We discovered that they were largely completely bogus, unenforceable contracts.
Well, her diary's different, right? Like that would have been amongst her personal effects, not.
Okay.
If her diary mentions stuff that runs counter to the whatever grift
We're
Viper
gonna
is
have
setting
to
up,
do some.
we'll just, shit gets damaged. We fought a god. So a little bit of, we'll take it to Billy. We'll see how much like spark electricity can fuck up that book. Just generally, and also strategically.
Okay. Someone give me a quick craft roll.
I'll do it.
Just curiosity. Do a
19. You know, I'm gonna spend an action die. 21.
okay. Yeah. So I think he basically what comes out of this is like a lot of nothing. Like Broadwing is disappointed by the contents, but understands that there's damage to them. Like wishes there was more, but like doesn't have enough evidence to like even be suspicious of y'all. So he's looking forward to working with you in the future because he is still the one funding the Quodlibet.
Also, point of order that he also can't get like a soothsayer to talk to her because it's once per corpse.
Oh, Dorothy. Oh, Dorothy, have I ever told you how much I adore you? How valuable and smart and brilliant you are. Just a star. Just a shining star in our fucking night sky.
Are there any other loose ends anyone wants to tie up for this epilogue?
Well, but it's not especially emotional. It's just kind of sorting out how much we can get for the corpses as to the university, and also seeing if we can capitalize on any other like bounties that people put on the storm, or just like milking this hero thing for as much as it's worth. And also seeing if that is enough to just see if any of the crew wants to stay aboard. See if we can replenish any crew from there. Yeah. Captain stuff, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. So V gets back to business, because we're not. I'm not tracking anything further fancy craft wise, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you get back to business.
I want to make sure we get the ending scene with the group portrait being painted.
Yes.
With Dorothy sitting on Viper's arm, and V and Ingrel and Gentleman Moose and Foxglove.
Primrose and Hannah and Bearme, Maybell, the Steel Sisters, and yeah, you get this wonderful portrait. Bixby even adds himself in after painting it.
Aww. So how's my date go?
I don't think we need to get into that necessarily.
I want to know if I make a friend.
Oh yeah, you absolutely make a friend.
Okay. So I get friend zoned, huh?
How do you want this to go, Christine?
I don't know. I like making you flustered is what I like.
Well, I'm putting it back on you. This is the epilogue. We're not like gonna do a whole lot of rolls here. You get to decide how well this goes, and where it goes, and if you even want to get into it.
I don't know. I think she hears my story, drinks a lot. We make plans for another night.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Only a couple of insects fall out of my mouth as I talk.
Good night.
Oh god, the worst
Wait.
French kiss.
Oh, oh! You don't take it there. Take it back. Bring it back.
Any other loose threads? Or is it
At some point in the future, Viper's setting up a monument for Lance on the beach at the creche.
Always chasing that wave.
Always chasing that wave.
what kind of monument?
I don't know. Probably some stones and shell motif or something.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
I think I visit Belmar often.
Mm-hmm.
Keep in contact with them.
Yeah.
Oh, they have a wicked cool amphitheater there that never came up in play, but was in the document notes. But
Well, hey, what?
an all perfect white amphitheater made of coral instead of stone.
I mean, if Belmar ever gets back on its feet, if it welcomes people who aren't sparked into the city ever again.
I think it does eventually, right? You get the stage 2 sparked there after a number of years.
I would love to throw the first concert there.
They would love to have you, I'm sure.
And so the opera continues amongst any other adventures that may be occurring.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
And you have no shortage of people who want to sign up for your crew. Yeah.
Probably several scripts in the work for the event itself.
Is Madame V a playwright?
Oh, I'm not. Oh no, good lord, no. I dabbled when I was younger, but I just never took to it. But I do have. I am friends with some very talented writers.
Happy to consult.
Yes.
I'd like to think that the doctored version of the script has you like shooting perfectly every time. And everyone just talks about what a great shot you are at like when they're not in this scene, everyone should be asking, where's Madam B?
I killed a god with you, and you do me like this.
Hey, I support that narrative. I say that my accuracy with my magic missiles are second only to your shooting.
That'll do.
Do we use the chemistry lab to increase the special effects for the operas? Do we have squibs now for when Madame B shoots someone?
Yeah.
As opposed to just tanking the shots.
Uh-huh.
Viper has to play every villain because she's the only one who could survive the play.
We added blood spray to the opera.
Is that it?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. So, whew, actually ending on an opera about the like I kind of love the idea of it ending with the play's narrator, or like the like fading from like the wrap up scenes into the play, like the play in full swing. the opera in full swing, laying out the deeds that just happened, like on screen, so to speak. Like the climax of the opera.
Madam V, the audience. Oh, this part always gets me.
Wait, I thought she'd be performing.
One hand is
That seems
watching,
gauche.
one
I
hand
don't
is
know.
performing.
Come on. Madam V does not seem like the kind of person who would say that seems gauche.
No.
There's definitely someone else playing Viper because Viper is not an actor.
I don't know if she would. I think she would for at least one version of the play.
It's like a special one. Like
Yeah.
it's like the anniversary show.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
Madam V, starring Madam V as herself.
Dorothy is played by a puppet.
It's very good.
Oh my god, the thought of Dorothy being the stage manager for this play and having to puppeteer herself on stage.
Yes, yes.
Just
Yes.
marionetting a... Oh god.
It's like a 1-to-1 scale ratio.
I was gonna
or
say
something.
it's a really really good duplicate of her actual body.
She probably plays pranks with it off stage.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
One of them. Okay, there is a legend in this theater. There is a haunted doll. One of them is the stage manager. Don't worry about that. But there is that doll is definitely haunted. The other one, you gotta look out for it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Late title card, impact font, the Enclave Opera Company.
Yep. All right. So, thank you everyone for joining us on this long and winding opera-based seafaring monster fighting god-killing opera-based once again adventure and campaign. It's been a year in the making, probably just about. Thank you for making it through it all with us. We will actually probably be back again next week for a post-credits sequence, you could say, where we will be playing Stewpot, Tales from a Fantasy Tavern. But it'll be modified a bit to be about the Quodlibet Opera Company, or whatever it ends up getting called. We hope you'll join us for that. But until then, I have been your host and GM for this long-running campaign. My name is Austin Ramsey, and this stream is presented by You Don't Meet in an Inn, an actual play podcast about exploring obscure tabletop role-playing games with a rotating cast. You can find both myself and the podcast at Not an Inn on Twitter, and you can find my game design work at austin-ramsey.itch.io. I have a Kickstarter that is currently going, which you can find at tinyurl.com/beamsaberkickstarter for my game Beam Saber, which is a Forged in the Dark game about mech pilots. I have been joined for this campaign by Christine.
Hi, I've been Christine. You can find me at Not an Inn sometimes, and I'm available for voice work. And thanks for joining us. I have nice things to say about my co-players, but I'm going to wait until next week. So you wait. I don't want to embarrass anyone today.
Okay. For the post-epilogue.
Gotta embarrass them once all the recording's done, so that they come back for the post-epilogue. Also with us is, of course, Sasha.
Hey, I've been Sasha. You can find me on Twitter at Sasha_Renault. You can follow all my game dev stuff at tcabbage. And it's been my honor and pleasure to play Madam V, Captain V on this very good adventure.
And it was a pleasure to have you. And of course, last but certainly never least, Hadrian.
That's me. You can find me on Twitter at Hadrian, where I'll probably be tweeting about how fun it was to play a rambunctious himbo for a year. And yeah, maybe might get inspired and pull a Bixby and do some art for this campaign.
Are you gonna draw that final picture that Bixby made?
I'm not gonna make that big of a promise, but I'm thinking I might can pull something out of my pocket for this. It seems noteworthy.
That'd be really cool. And thank you for being part of it. And once again, thank you to everyone who has watched and listened to this stream and podcast. It's been a heck of a ride. There's one more little game to go as we have a sweet little cozy ending for this tale. But until then, I just want to remind everyone, you don't have to worry about getting sparked anymore. See y'all later.